Hello, welcome to the 7th episode of EmanCast. I'm your host, Eman SMM2, and welcome to the first EmanCast episode of 2023. Joining me today is Neagle Jeagle, a well-known Mario Maker level grinder and a streamer overall.
Hello there.
So we're gonna get started with the 7th episode and the first episode of 2023. It should be pretty good. So Neagle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Mr. Eman. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I feel like we're just ready to get started. I just woke up, so I'm feeling ready for this. So yeah. Now the first question that I had for you, Neagle, was what made you motivated to start playing Super Mario Maker 2? Like, what made you want to keep grinding for things like you do, like medals and that, and what made you want to just play it in general, if that makes any sense?
Oh yeah, when it comes to level grinding and my medals and all, the main reason I keep doing it, I've been doing it for a few years now. The reason I keep going is because I have an end goal, and that is get all 10 golds, which I'm closing in on. I have at the moment, I have 7 golds, 3 silver, which is pretty nice.
Nice.
Though I used to be better, but yeah, it's hard to maintain. At the moment, I am playing Super Expert, so I'm kind of taking a wee bit of a break from the level grinding. I need to get I need to do the versing to get the gold medal for versus. But I'm kind of just taking a break from it for now.
Yeah.
But I've been able to grind for so long because I have an end goal, I would say.
Yeah. And how close? And so the gold medals that you do have, so from what I'm hearing, you have silver for versus, Super Expert, and what would be the other thing that you're missing?
Normal.
Normal. Oh, endless normal. Okay. Yeah. So very, very close. 70% there. That's pretty good. Now, the second question that I had for you was, what is the easiest and hardest part about Super Mario Maker 2? What is something that, when you go on, you're about to have a chill session, it should be pretty fun to do, just easy and relaxed. But on the other end of the spectrum, what, when you play it, is, incredibly hard about Mario Maker 2, in your opinion?
I would start with the easy question. I would say if I want to have a chill time, I'll probably do first clearing, to first clear some levels. I find that enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about what I find hard, it's probably versus, because versus, a lot of it is skill, but there is a little bit of luck involved with versus, which can make it incredibly difficult if you want to go up in points. I do have 6,900 in versus, but it's hard to go up. I'm 50 down from the highest I've been in versus, and it's hard to get motivated to play versus.
Yeah. And I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something else?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as for first clears, I 100% get it, because, the best way to get new clears is just go to new courses, and most of the time the levels are either short or pretty easy. So I can understand that completely. Yeah, and I 100% agree with you with versus. We'll talk about versus later on in this episode, but just basically, I get it. I've played versus, I think a couple days ago, and, I'd say some of my wins were literally luck-based, and some of my losses were getting extremely unlucky, which really demotivates some people from it, and I understand, and I completely get that. But,
absolutely.
Yeah. Now, the next question that I had for you was, so Mario Maker 2 has a lot of interesting communities. They have a bunch of communities outside the game, or I guess in the game for that matter. So, specifically, if you are in any of the communities, or the teams such as Team Shell, Team Precision, Team Jamp, and all that, what are your thoughts about the communities that surround Super Mario Maker 2?
Oh yeah, I am in Team Jump. That's, I think, the only team I am currently in. I'm in some of the servers for the other teams, but I'm not like an official member.
Oh yeah, same.
Like I made a level for Team Jump a few months ago, and because to get into Team Jump, you have to make at least one level for the team, and if you make the level, then you're an official member.
Yeah.
So, I like Team Jump. I like the levels, most of them. There are like a few weird ones here and there, but I like the team.
Yeah.
Team Shell, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not the greatest at shell jumps. Team Precision, kind of the same thing, though I do like probably Team Precision more than Team Shell.
Yeah.
I think the communities are great. I like the teams.
Yeah.
I don't have much bad to say about them.
Yeah. I get that. 100%, like, I'm with you with the Team Shell. Like, I think I am in the Team Shell and Team Precision Discord, but when I can't do shell jumps very well. I freak out when I can hit one, but that doesn't mean I can do, like, 5 consecutive or something like that. So I'm bad at shell jumps, so I obviously don't really play many Team Shell levels. Team Precision levels, I've said it, and actually Team Shell levels for that matter. I always prefer watching levels of Team Shell and Team Precision rather than playing it, because I can't play those levels. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I 100% get it. Now the next question is, this is a traditional EmanCast question, but I feel like it'd be a pretty good answer for you. In a casual sense, how do you, so like, just think of, let's just ignore all the competitive aspects of Mario Maker 2 for now. Like, when you open up Mario Maker 2 and you're just like, okay, this is a normal game that I have on my Switch. In a casual sense, how would you feel about Super Mario Maker 2 as just a casual, relaxing game that you can play sometimes?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a great experience to be able to play casual if someone wants to play casual. I would say I sometimes do play in a casual manner.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand. Like, I will say with Mario Maker 2 nowadays, less people are making levels than they used to be, so it's a bit harder for like a casual player to get into Mario Maker 2. Like, the community's a little bit more spread out now, so. But I feel like for a casual player, Mario Maker 2 is still a pretty good game if they were to join.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the game is, yes, a lot of people are still buying it, so yeah, 100% get it. Now, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, in a competitive sense, like basically the opposite of this question, how do you feel about Mario Maker 2? Like, the competitive nature of it, like whether that's medals, grinding out stuff. Like, what is your opinion on that?
Well, obviously, I do like grinding medals.
Yeah.
I will say that. So, like, I will say about the versus community, it can be a little bit toxic at times. I've seen it in the versus server. There's some toxicity every now and then, but there are a lot of very, very nice people in the competitive scene in Mario Maker 2. And I am friends with like a few of them. There are some like outliers that can be like there's a lot of people who are kind of restrict the way you play, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to not wait. You have to wait. If you don't wait, you're being rude to the other person. And I personally do wait, and I can understand someone who doesn't wait, but there are people who will go after someone if they don't wait.
Right.
Which I don't really like. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But overall, like, most of like the competitive scene in Mario Maker 2 is pretty nice. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially like medal grinding.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you on the verses. Like, I have like I'm in the server, I'm just never active in it. It's like, because like, you know, it is very aggravating when, like, you know, people get really upset when you don't wait. Like, I get it, but like, also, I've always stood by the fact that if you're the one who wins, then you can make the call. You have that power. You've won. So you can wait if you want. You can don't if you don't want. It doesn't make sense when I explain it, but like, basically, like, I 100% get it. It's really, really, it can get really, really like frustrating. But yeah, and this is just a curiosity question because it piqued my curiosity. I think it was when I interviewed Beef back in episode 1. I asked him. I think I asked him like how many hours he had, and he said to me that you had something like 3,000 hours. How many hours of Mario Maker 2 do you have? This is just a curiosity question because it's always piqued by curiosity.
I have the max amount of hours.
Oh, the max. Is that
not many who have it?
Is that 5,000 or 3,000?
Max is 9,999.
9,999.
Yeah.
Which is probably more, but wow.
I know 100% is more.
Yeah.
Me and there's 2 others in my friend list have 9,999.
Wow.
It was being like KDZK, the Japanese player. He was like 3rd on like world records, and there's this player called Valen. You probably don't know them.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9,999 hours. A lot of those hours, I will say, came from like lockdown, that kind of period.
Oh yeah.
When I had nothing to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I would say I'm collecting hours a lot less nowadays. I'm not playing it as much. I still play it quite a bit, but I'm not playing it to the same extent I used to. But
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Can't deny it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely playing Mario Maker 2 a lot when the COVID lockdown started because, I had nothing else to do. So, and I got S+. So, yeah, it was kind of a perfect time. But yeah, that was just a quick sidetrack question I wanted to ask you. Now, the next question, it could be a little bit subjective, but it's something that I feel like should be asked. How do you feel about the current state of Super Mario Maker 2? Like, do you believe it's still thriving, or do you believe that there are things that are like slowly drifting away about it?
Well, I definitely feel like a lot of the community, or at least some of the community, is like leaving. You see players like stop playing all the time now.
Yeah.
Like I had 2 buddies of mine just stopped playing like the past month.
Yeah.
So there are people leaving. I think the game is still alive for like streamers, sort of, not as alive, but if you look on Twitch, there's still people watching. YouTube, there's still people watching. But like there is definitely, I would say the hype around Mario Maker 2 has definitely died down since like 2019, like when everyone was playing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And versus, if we're talking about versus also, it's versus like, well, I'm in the EU, so versus EU, you don't find many players. You usually find the same players every day.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really many new players coming to versus, and I think the US has the same problem, or like any other place other than maybe Japan, because I think there's like that many versus players in Japan that there's not really a problem with there being like a lack of players, but there's definitely a lack of players in like EU and America.
Yeah.
Like at a high level.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it has certainly, like, you said it perfectly, like, Nintendo was just so quick to just snap Mario Maker 2 out of existence because they released the last major update not even, like, a year after the game came out. So, it felt like it was just, Nintendo was like, okay, here's this, which, that creates, like, a very, like, that loses interest for the game, and people have rightfully like not wanted to play it anymore because they got bored of it. But and I get that, and I agree with you. Like, I have a hard time finding people in versus sometimes because nobody really plays it as much. And Japan, I am with you 100%. I'm sure the community is still active there, but I couldn't have said it better myself. But now. As some of you may know, and as I said in the intro, Neagle is actually a streamer of Mario Maker 2. He streams a lot of endless stuff and versus stuff and that. Now, how is it, like, you kind of mentioned this a little bit in the last question with, like, streaming. How would you say making content for Mario Maker 2 is nowadays, whether that's with just making videos for it or just streaming it, whether that's on YouTube or Twitch?
Well, because I'm a YouTube streamer, I will say that it is getting harder to get new viewers when it comes to Mario Maker 2.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, around 2020, I could get, like, a bunch of new, different viewers coming to my channel. Nowadays, it's, like, maybe 1 or two every stream, because
Yeah.
I do have like a small, I would say, fan base of people who will regularly come, but not many new people are like showing their faces.
Right.
And I see like a lot of these smaller YouTube streamers, they're not getting like a lot of views because it's actually a lot harder now to get views. And on Twitch, I would say Twitch is probably, if you wanted to start streaming, it would probably be best to start on Twitch, because I think Twitch, because of the way you can raid people,
Yeah.
you still might have a chance on Twitch if you start MyMaker 2 streaming, depending on what you stream, because there's certain things that people would not watch if you streamed it, like maybe, what would it be? Speedrunning something, maybe like 16 levels in easy.
Yeah.
People aren't probably going to watch that much.
Right.
But there are some things that people find entertaining.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But when it comes to like content making, I think it is like the views are going down when it comes to content making on MyMaker 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I haven't been making much content. But I feel like unless it's shorts, because I feel like shorts are still doing well. Shorts, like YouTube bringing in shorts, you get a lot of views if you do, like, if you make like a good MyMaker 2 video and it's a short, you might get quite a lot of views. But content like video making, it's a bit harder to do.
Yeah. 100%. And as someone who makes Mario Maker 2 content fairly regularly, I definitely have seen, like, I don't want to say a decline, but I've also seen something that has, like, it's been significantly less. Like, the demand for Mario Maker 2 has certainly gone down. Like, I still will continue to make Mario Maker 2 content, but I've said it before, the thing that Mario Maker 2 desperately needs to keep a community alive is an update or just a straight up new Mario Maker game, like a Mario Maker 3 or something like that. And yeah, streaming on Twitch is certainly like, yeah, I believe that if you are a Twitch streamer and you want to just play Mario Maker 2, you should also have some variety just in case. And yeah, I 100% agree with what you said. But yeah. Now, you are someone who really like works on making sure that, you know, you can get all these amazing achievements in Mario Maker 2. But Mario Maker 2's algorithm is something that has been pretty controversial in Mario Maker 2. How would you say that the Mario Maker 2 algorithm is really played out, in your opinion? Like, is it as bad as people are thinking, or do you think that it's like, there's a way to figure it out?
Are we talking about the maker points? That
Yes.
kind of area?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, getting your getting your level played and getting maker points off of it.
I personally don't really mind the maker point system. I think the maker point system works if people weren't making as many refreshing levels as they are on popular. My levels, there are some of my levels that I don't believe probably deserve as many places they have.
Yeah.
However, like, I think the system, in my opinion, works to a certain extent, because it's more user driven. If people like a certain type of level, it's going to stay on popular. If people don't like it, it's going to go off of popular. Like, popular seems mean, but at the same time, it's not really Nintendo's doing. It's really just the players. They get to decide what stays on popular, what goes off popular. Yeah. Now, there might be something to be said about getting a level to even be on popular, because you need to get a certain amount of likes to begin with to get it on popular. And there's like a lot of, like, some people will like someone's level and they will like them back, like for liking.
Yeah.
That's the system some people use, and I personally have used them in the past, I will say. Not like going to streamers and doing it, but just liking someone's level and they might have a chance of liking back.
Yeah.
I think overall, though, I do think the system's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. So, yeah. It is, I would say also that it is pretty good. Like, it all depends on the quality that you're going to upload. Like, if you're going to upload something that's not as polished, like, just not the best level design, yeah, it's not going to get the attention that I don't think it would deserve, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. Now, so this is very, very, like, I can tell, because 7 gold medals is crazy to me. But, how is getting medals, like, I know there are some levels that, or medals that there are some medals that you can get that aren't as hard to get as like some others. But like when you're just getting a standard like how hard would you say it is to get medals in your opinion?
Well, some medals are harder to get than others. I would say, in my opinion, like weekly. Weekly is definitely the easiest because all you have to do is get on popular,
Yeah.
maybe a few seconds, and then you're gonna get first.
Right.
Now, okay, like versus and maker points are probably the hardest medals to get because I haven't got them.
Yeah.
However, if you're a good maker, it still might be hard to get gold all the time. Gold all the time. The problem with gold all the time is a lot of the people who have it were there day one and they got like a big level day one.
Oh yeah.
So it's nearly impossible nowadays,
Uh-huh.
especially with like the lower player count. Now, some medals that I would say are still possible to obtain, like in a decent amount of time, would probably be super expert,
Yeah.
expert, and maybe first clears. Those are like the easy. I say easy, like expert and super expert is not easy, but
Right.
the amount of levels you need to actually gain the gold medal isn't as much as like easy endless because you need like 40,000 levels cleared,
Right.
even gain gold on easy endless.
Yeah. Which
And
a lot of people don't
world
have that time.
records. Yeah, world records. It's highly likely someone might take a lot from you, so it's hard to get gold on that.
Yeah.
Clears, you need like a 70,000 or so nowadays to get the clear gold medal.
Yeah.
Like overall, there are some that are easier than others. I do enjoy collecting medals because I was collecting medals probably. I think I started not day one. I didn't start day one, but I started maybe either a few weeks or a few months after the game's release. I just thought to myself, hey, I might as well collect medals.
Yeah.
And here I am today with as many as I do now.
Yeah.
As many as I have now.
Yeah. But yeah, 100% agree. There's not a lot I could say because the only medal that I have is like top 1,000 for super expert, which I got from clearing like 13 clears, but then I lost it and now I'm back to 0, which is annoying, but you know, it's nice to have a medal. It's a good thing to have, but yeah, I 100% agree with what you said. Now, I'm going to skip this question because we kind of talked about it a little bit already, but we talked about the activity of the Mario Maker 2 community. I believe how it's like kind of in the YouTube streaming. So yeah, I'm sure you'd stand by like with the whole like YouTube streaming viewership not being like it used to. I'm sure you'd still think that like the community is like certainly not as popular as it was in 2019. But
Indeed.
yeah. So now this next one is something that I've personally thought, and some people do talk about it, but I'm someone who believes it very, very harshly. Now, what are your thoughts about Nintendo's treatment of Super Mario Maker 2? What would you say, like, how they just, like, kind of swept it under the rug for a little bit and, like, haven't really been giving it that much? But that might just be me. Maybe I just think that. But, like, in your opinion, what would you say, how would you say Nintendo treats Mario Maker 2?
Well, I think nowadays they kind of have abandoned it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem with the updates was, well, if you go to the Maker area in Mario Maker 2, and if you look at the different themes, I think it is, like there's SMB, SMB2, not SMB2, SMB3. Mm-hmm. There's a section called More Game Styles.
Oh,
with
yeah.
An S. Mm-hmm. And, like, it seems like they were going to add more game styles with the way it's, like, extra game styles.
Yeah.
But they just never did, which I think is the reason, like, a lot of people are upset.
Yeah.
Because people expected probably another game style to come out. But I think what they gave us was pretty good. I like what they gave us. Should they have given us more? Maybe. It's hard to say, because maybe if they added too much, it'd be hard to actually make a level with all. That's maybe just me. I just find it hard to, when there's like too many items to choose from, to make a good level, because I would just overdo stuff. But I think I don't particularly like how they treated it near the end. I like because like nowadays it's like nothing going on. They used to have ninjas. Like the ninjas were good and all. I didn't really participate too much in the ninjas, but whenever one came out, it was fine. I would play it. Though I think they kind of did tease that they were gonna like bring some like maybe update My Maker 2 again. Whenever they did like that Link, they did like a Link ninja.
Yeah, the Link's lightweight long shots. Yeah, that was hype when I saw that. I was like, wow, ninjas are coming back, but no, it hasn't been updated in almost 2 years.
Yeah, like it kind of made people think maybe Nintendo's gonna bring something to My Maker 2 again, but then it was after that it was nothing. Like, and it was weird how they brought that ninja out. I think it was how long after? I think it might have been half a year or more after the last ninja.
Yeah.
So it just kind of brought hype back, and then just nothing since.
Right. Because, yeah, I mean, the thing I've said is I agree with you with the extra game styles. Like, that is my biggest pet peeve about Mario Maker 2 is that it's still there, and then there's that stupid gap that indicates that there's going to be an extra game style. Like, Mario Maker 2 got a random patch in November of 2022. If they updated that, and made it so that, like, it wasn't there, I would have freaked out. I would have been all over that update, but yeah, and it's certainly not gonna, and I don't think it's ever gonna get fixed, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, and yeah, I 100% agree. Like, Ninja Speedruns coming back was extremely hype, but then they just forgot about it again, or they just didn't feel like updating it, so yeah.
It is always possible that they might bring out an update eventually, but I doubt it. But at the same time, I have hope still there. Though maybe at the end of this year, I'm just going to give up, like, with hoping that they're going to bring another update.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still, like, a simmer of a chance. But, like, I don't know.
Right.
It's hard to say.
Right. Because I'll say it that Mario Maker 1 came out in 2015, and then Mario Maker 2 came out in 2019. Now it's 2023, so that if we're taking a 4-year gap, if Nintendo doesn't update Mario Maker 2, it might be time for a new game. But, yeah. But that might just be me. But, yeah. Now, we're going to skip this question, too, because, we talked a lot about the multiplayer versus community in Mario Maker 2, whether that was the versus Discord, so we're just going to skip that one. Now, we talked about your easiest and hardest part about Mario Maker 2, but the only reason, I'm sure you play Mario Maker 2 because you find enjoyment in the game, yeah. So, what would you say is your favorite part about Super Mario Maker 2?
My favorite part? Probably the game's community, because I have made like a lot of friends in the community. I think it's a great, vast community of different play styles, different players. There's like something for everyone in Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
People are doing shell jumps, precision, just making like traditional levels. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Like a newcomer could come to Mario Maker 2, play some easy endless, normal endless, or like a hardcore veteran could come and play some expert or super expert, or even versus. There's something for like everybody. And my favorite part is 100%, I would say, the community. My second favorite part, if I had to like pick a second, I would say probably just the levels.
Yeah.
Of, well, Mario Maker 2. The levels in Mario Maker 2, there are a lot of great levels. And I think you have to have bad levels to really appreciate the good levels in Mario Maker 2.
Right.
Because they're like, the level quality of some of these levels that people bring out, it's fantastic. I really do enjoy what people are bringing out in Mario Maker 2. Even today, there's still some like absolutely amazing levels coming out, but maybe not as much as there was in 2019. But there's still like a decent amount coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just playing levels and appreciating those good levels because you don't appreciate something until it's gone, and like when you play a bunch of bad levels, you're like, wow, this good level that I played prior was very, very fun. But yeah. Now on the other hand of the spectrum, Mario Maker 2 is certainly not perfect in my opinion. what would you say is your least favorite part about Super Mario Maker 2 with that logic? Or if you don't have anything, then yeah.
Probably no more endless.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. It is the most, for me at least, it's the most boring endless there is.
Yeah.
Because almost every single level in No More Endless has a boss fight.
Yeah.
So you just have to play through the traditional level, and then you have to beat the boss.
Yeah.
And that makes No More Endless the slowest, and I would say the most tedious to play. Especially for me, at least, when I try and grind medals. It's why it's the only silver endless for me. I just can never bring myself to play it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, at least Endless Easy has, like, at least Endless Easy has really short and, at least they're short levels and then they're just, or auto levels, so you don't even have to play them. But, yeah, I 100% get where you're coming from. But yeah.
Yeah, and the Easy Endless, like with Easy Endless, at least you can like watch something while you play. You don't have to have your full attention on it. With No More Endless, you have to have your attention a bit more on the game because of some of the levels. They have like trolls sometimes, or like little tricks in them. Just so you have to like be a little bit more attentive, which can be a bit annoying, especially if you just want to have like a laid back experience.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah. Now, the final question I had for you, and we're going to wrap the episode up after this, is if you could give any advice to a new level creator, or any level creator for that matter, when it comes to making levels in Mario Maker 2, what advice would you give them?
Make something unique. The weekly leaderboards are pretty oversaturated with the same kind of levels, and I feel like if you were to make something unique, people would love to play it because I don't think there's been enough unique levels recently. So people would love to play unique levels. Like my profile, I used to make like speed runs. I will say, used to make like your average speed run. Now I've moved more towards either traditional or jump levels, even though I've only made one jump level, but still, don't try to follow what other people make. Try and make something that you enjoy, that you think others will enjoy, because if you try and make something just for it to get popular, there is a good chance it will just flop, because it's just been overdone. No one really wants to play like the same refreshing level. Though then again, the weekly leaderboard says otherwise with all these refreshing levels. So
yeah, that's true.
Hard to say.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Uniqueness and originality is a key factor, and I've stood by it for a while, and I 100% agree with it. But yeah, well, those were all the questions that I had for you, Neagle. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of EmanCast.
Absolutely. This was great.
Yeah. Make sure you check out Neagle's YouTube channel. He's a great streamer and a great content creator. His streams are really entertaining to watch. You won't regret it if you check it out. Please do. So thank you so much for watching this episode of EmanCast, and I will see you all on June 3rd, 2023 for the 8th episode of EmanCast. Reminder that episodes are now every 3 months as opposed to 1 month. So I'll see you on June 3rd, 2023 for the 8th episode of EmanCast. Take care, everyone.